Vine peeked out of her room quietly. When she woke up in the morning, Jungkook, her alpha, had already gone. She remembered the urgency in his voice when he received the call, but he hadn't left without ensuring she was comfortable first, by drawing the curtains close and fixing the sheets around her. A kiss to her head and whispered apology. Slipping out of her room, Vine moved quietly through the house, her heart racing at the thought of being caught. Her delicate fingers trailed along the boards as she tiptoed, hoping to avoid anyone's gaze, but she was caught. Oh, Luna, what are you doing here? The voice startled her, making her freeze. One shut her eyes tightly, already caught by one of the pack members. Turning slowly, she managed an awkward smile. The very smile that had captured Jungkook's heart. It was a smile so pure, so angelic, that it could melt even the coldest of hearts. Too many people fell for her over this smile. A proof was Lucas, the pack member, whose eyes sparkled at that smile. Wine, I was thinking of a plan, she said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Lucas, what plan, Luna? Tell us, we will help. Wine, I wanted to gift him something for his birthday, but I can't decide on anything, she admitted, her cheeks flushing red. She was not only angelic, but extremely shy as well. Before she knew it, the entire pack had gathered around her, offering ideas and suggestions, each one more crazier than the last. How about a cute setting with a cake and balloons? One of them suggested. Seriously, Alpha's more of a web and chain kind of person. How about a private, sexy? Another began, but Wine quickly cuffed, cutting them off, her face turning crimson. She was too far innocent for such ideas, a fact that made many in the pack wonder how their brutal alpha had ended up with someone so sweet and angelic. It was one lovely pack. Their bond was beautiful, but this pack was absolutely destructive as well when it was needed. It was the most feared and dominant pack of all. As more ideas poured in, Wine realized she wouldn't get much help from here. Wine, I think I know what to do. Thank you guys, she said softly, trying to escape before things got too embarrassing. Luna, tell us too, Miri begged. But before Wine could respond, another voice cut through. That's their personal matter. Stop distracting her. You remember what happened last time? Alpha caught us teasing the Luna. The reminder made Wine chuckle awkwardly, scratching her head. Wine, sorry about that, guys. I'll tell him to be gentle. No, no, that's completely fine. Best of luck with your plan, Luna. They all cheered before leaving, clearly not wanting to be on Jungkook's bad side again. Last time, He had made them stand outside all night with their arms raised like children being punished. As the evening approached, Vine dressed herself up, careful not to overdo anything, wanting to keep her plan a surprise. Jungkook returned on time, his presence immediately filling the room with a dark, commanding aura. The pack members welcomed him in. Vine, hi. She reflected her angelic smile. The very smile he fell for, the very smile he loved coming home to. She stood shyly by a pillar, her hands clasped behind her back. Jungkook, hi, my angel. He held onto her chin, tilting it upwards, and took her lips in between his. One shall be used to it by now. He was quite bold, dominant, yet soft with his touches when it came to her. Her cheeks turned red. He pulled onto her lower lip, making the kiss messier before he pulled away. Jungkook, I'm sorry for leaving like that. Wine, that's fine. She blushed. He tilted his head, brushing his fingers against her cheeks. Jungkook, beautiful. He had no smile yet, Wine knew. Those eyes, which always looked murderous, would only turn soft for her, just like now. Wine, let's have dinner. You must be hungry. She held on to his hand and took him towards the dining table. They took a seat and the pack members joined as well. It was always like this, a beautiful time where they joined and had fun. Although Jungkook wouldn't talk much, but he was the guy who would let them do whatever they wanted, cold but soft inside. Yet, currently all of them seemed tense, drowned in sweat, eyes on one, pleading quietly to take care of the situation. He was on a phone call and he seemed real angry. He raised his voice and all of them flinched. One knew what they feared and she decided to help. But before she could call Jungkook, he slammed his fist against the table. The damage was done. The table broke. Sixth. It was the sixth table he broke this month. His strength was absolutely destroying. It was not his fault either, right? The crack appeared on the table and everyone rushed to pick up the dishes before the table completely broke down. That's when Jungkook stopped. He was done. Looked at mine, all of his previous anger gone when he was met with those angelic eyes glaring at him. It was his last warning. Cutting off the call, he stood up. Wine. You can't really control yourself, right? Do you know how everyone gets scared? You won't stop giving them a hard time. She huffed and stood up, stomping out of there. Lucas, we're not scared. No, no, I mean we are. Ali. He means we're not having a hard time. Marco, you can break as many tables as you want, Alpha. They try to save their asses. As soon as wine is out of picture, they know it is the end of them. A little dramatic they were. Jungkook truly loved and cared for them, but he was also the strict and punishing time of Alpha. Jungkook, hands up, face against the wall. Alpha, come on. We were going to watch a movie. One of them went, and another one slammed a hand against the mouth and laughed awkwardly. Jungkook glared and rushed after Van. She skipped the rooftop and stood near the railing. Jungkook quietly followed her and he stood behind her. He bent down to her level and placed his chin over her shoulder, yet kept his hands to himself. Jungkook, I just touched the table. I can't help it if it's that weak. Wine. I touch the table too, daily. It doesn't break. He chuckled. It's quite rare to get a laugh out of him, yet every time Wine finds herself getting lost in that heavenly melody. Jungkook, you're too sweet for that. Wine, I can be scary too, okay? She placed her finger against his head and pushed him back. Jungkook stepped away and took a seat over the railing, face towards her. Wine, I've been thinking about something, but nothing would come to my mind. Everything is too typical. I wanted to do something different for your birthday, so I decided this. She picked up the champagne bottles from the floor. Jungkook hadn't realized they were there from the start. A ribbon was wrapped around them. Wine, celebrations are too overrated and distracting, so I planned this. Up until then, she looked so cool. Jungkook was such a corner. No one else, absolutely no one else, hold this effect against such a powerful force like him. But then she blushed, getting embarrassed, unable to pop the bottle no matter how much she tried. Lord, she would cry there. Her whole face turned so red. Jungkook smiled, another rare sight of him, yet he refrained from helping her. She probably wanted to do it herself, and at the end, she successfully opened the bottle and exhaled. Placing the glasses over the railing, she filled them up. One, you and I, no distractions. Under these scars, I want you to spend every moment with you. One, I was not there with you from the very start, but now that I am, I want to grow old with you, pass on our legacy to our heir, and spend my last breaths right in those arms. Happy birthday, my alpha. She extended one glass. Her eyes were glossy. They sparkled, filled with a million galaxies residing inside of them. How could one person have this much effect on him that it never wears off? Right now, in that moment, he could burn the world if it tried to distract him from her. He took the glass and clicked it against hers. Wine stepped near, getting in between his legs as the two took a sip of the champagne. He held onto her neck and leant down, kissing her head before he kissed her. Wine replied to the kiss, her body heating up every point his fingers traced. They burned through her skin and raised goosebumps in their wake. A soft voice escaped her lips, and the fire only got worse. He sighed in between the kiss before his lips moved down to her neck. Wen closed her eyes and threw her head back. Jungkook, thank you, my Luna. I absolutely love this setting. She blushed and held on to his shirt. Jungkook looked up in her eyes. Those devilish pitch black holes against the angelic blue eyes was the contrast heavens cried for. Those kisses, touches, those moments together were everything Jungkook ever asked for. The night witnessed their love, as they promised to spend the rest of their breaths in each other's arms.